Welcome to Art of Soul Living by Davy Creative. I believe we are the artist of life, creating and here to celebrate living soulfully. Tune in to Immerse locally and globally as I journey around the world sharing eco-soul interviews.
Your resident goddess creative here. I'm Nishta and I'm joined by Elle, defreitas of Vegan Wonder / just amazing human being. I said your name right? That's
yeah.
like, oh. Okay, we're off to a good start so far, people.
It's a hard last name.
Yes. So we're coming to you from Austin, Texas. And how we know each other, we actually met through Vegan Wonder, which is her plant-based event company, and Loving Earth, my partner's organic vegan chocolate company, was a sponsor. And the event was beautiful, and we just connected afterwards and really hit it off, and just love everything that she's doing and who she is. So I'm really grateful that you're able to join us today. I don't know if you want to share a little bit about your beautiful self.
Sure. So I started Vegan Wonder, and it's like she said, a plant-based vegan event company, and that's just so we can have more plant-based offerings in Austin that are centered around sustainable living and creating connections and providing an outlet for our community to enjoy a creative and thoughtful event. And then I also eat a lot of vegan food. And I'm not doing that.
You need to get on her Instagram. I'm going to definitely post that in the comments. It is insane. Like, she eats the most magical food. It's like, it's not from this earth. It's just like incredible. So you just got back from Miami, where you were at Seed Festival, and that was like an all vegan. So is it like food, fashion, a brand boot camp, meditation, yoga retreat. Beautiful.
Yeah, it was a really wonderful series, including all parts of the vegan lifestyle. So that was very cool. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So we're going to get into the fire starters, which you'll find out 4 is my number, so everything has the 4 theme. So it's 4 fire starters, and you're just going to give the first answer that comes to your mind. Okay. Dream travel location.
Hawaii.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is there a reason why? Like, are you a beachy?
I'm
beachy babe?
Beach. Yeah. And so is Ed, my boyfriend. And I think we're going to go in May. Yeah.
Beautiful. I went to Kauai with my family when I was, I don't know, that's when I found out I had the ginger allergy.
Oh.
But that was just a small bit. Like, it's just it's so beautiful, and it feels so secluded. And the people were so friendly and warm, and it's just, and you forget it's kind of part of the States.
Yeah.
I felt like. So I highly recommend Kauai is one of
I think
stops.
I have on my list.
But I mean, I'm sure any bits of them are awesome. I have some friends that live on Maui and Oahu, and oh yeah, that's awesome. Okay, next, favorite color.
Yellow.
Yellow. I have never heard someone say that that's their favorite color.
I love the sun. That's why.
Which, if I get a chance to turn the camera around at the end of this, her view is insanely beautiful, and you really can see how green Austin is.
Yeah.
And you get so much of the sun here, and it's such an oasis to be here. So
you wouldn't think that were that many trees, would you?
I know.
It's tons of trees.
I was looking at like some aerial photos of Austin, and for people who don't know or haven't been here, it is such a green city.
Yeah.
Which is like absolutely amazing. Especially like you wouldn't think that for Texas, but we are so lucky here. It's so beautiful. Okay, next question. Favorite animal?
Dog.
Okay, I was hoping you were gonna say this because we are like dog sisters.
Yeah.
Like, we just send each other pictures of dogs. Like, it's pretty serious. And I know you were working with a really amazing organization. I don't know if you can just briefly talk about that.
So Paws of Austin, I applied to be a foster mom for them about a year ago after I lost my Rhodesian Ridgeback to my ex-boyfriend. So he has her. I know. So I was really wanting a dog in my life, so I applied to be the mom, and I didn't hear back for about a year until maybe a month ago. They said they had an emergency situation. Could I foster a dog with them? And I did. Her name is Letty. She was very sweet. And then after that, we got another one. But it's a Great Dane rescue in Austin. They're supposed to be the best in Texas, but they've been a joy to work with. They really place the dogs in wonderful homes and treat the fosters with a lot of respect. And it's been so fun. I can't wait for my next one.
Yeah. Do you find it really hard to give them back?
Oh my gosh. I'm bawling to the person I'm giving them to.
Yes.
So I just please take care of her. I'm so dramatic and I'm really emotional. So, and of course Ed is crying, when we gave Letty back, that was a big deal because we wanted to keep Letty.
Right.
So we really were sad about Letty, but when we were about to take her to her new home, we're laying on the floor with her, feeding her a cookie. Ed's bawling. We're both crying,
oh my gosh,
laying with her, just sobbing, feeding her this cookie, and I'm like, she doesn't know I'm leaving her. It was really, really tough.
It's really, really challenging.
But they go to new homes, and I get a new one, get to love them for a day to a week, and next and next and next. So,
and I'm glad. Yeah, I just wanted to mention that because I've been raising seeing eye dogs in Australia. From little 8-week-old Labrador puppies up until a year and a half. And Harlow, my heart, she left in June. And we find out in the next week if she passes, because 50% of them don't pass. And if she doesn't, we get her back.
Wow. But
I know. But if she does pass, she goes on to be a companion to someone that really needs her. So I just really wanted to throw that in there for anyone that wants to get involved, if you're in Melbourne or Austin, want to get involved with an amazing local fostering organization, and you love puppies like we do, throw that out there. So yeah, Paws of Austin and Seeing Eye Dogs Australia, two amazing organizations. The last fire starter, and you mentioned it maybe, but I'm gonna throw it out there again. Favorite Earth landscape? Beach, all the way.
Always. Beach.
Always. And was that your whole life? Just beach babe?
Yeah. I think it was from doing family vacations. My mom has a lot of siblings, so we have about a 30-person family, and we did beach vacations every 2 years. And my grandma was kind of the leader of the pack, and she is my beach.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. When you think of, is that a synonymous connection?
Very much so, yeah.
That is so sweet. Yeah. That's so sweet. When I thought about it, I was even though I love the beach and I love water in general, I just find it so peaceful and healing and just I have so many amazing memories. I think it's forest for me, actually. I have a super strong connection to trees.
Okay.
And I always have. And I remember being little and reading The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein.
Book.
Rereading it now as an adult, it's really, and it's influenced so much of the way that I live my life, and I just feel they are beings, and I just feel a really strong connection to them, and it's definitely my strongest nature connection. So whenever I'm around them or even looking at them, I just feel a really strong sense of peace. So that and climbing them, I guess it is that kind of nostalgia to a landscape or a location that you get from growing up. So this conversation series entails 4 questions, and it's called May the 4th Be With You. And May the 4th is my birthday. Actually, all my siblings were born on the 4th of different months. So there's 4 is definitely my number, as I was saying. So May the 4th be with you. It's also a reference to celebrating the Cosmic Collective. And we're going to dive in. So the first question I ask everyone is, how are you supporting the earth?
I am supporting the earth by promoting the more widespread plant-based eating. So first it was just me posting vegan food, and I felt that was helpful because all of my friends are not vegan. So I felt by me posting food all the time and showing how delicious it is and how good it looks, you can still eat it and enjoy a meal. You're not compromising. So I felt that was that in itself to me was a lot of just getting out the plant-based message. And then Vegan Wonder is even more of a push, and that is we direct most of our marketing and our events are tailored for people that are not vegan, so they can feel comfortable in that space and learn what the plant-based community and food looks like, so that they can feel no judgment when they want to ask questions or they want to find out more information, things like that. And then I don't always, but I try to shop mainly secondhand.
Awesome.
That fashion industry is really like the biggest polluter in the world. I mean, it's really awful.
People don't know that.
Yeah. Have you seen True Cost?
I haven't.
Okay, it's on Netflix. It's a documentary.
True Cost?
True Cost.
Okay.
It is really will change your buying habits if you have any at all. It's really eye-opening. Just about the treatment of workers in these countries that we're getting our clothes from.
Right.
And then just talking about the 36 or 34 week season, how like something new is always in fashion. Like you can never keep up, but people try, so they buy just to keep up with this fashion, and it's just impossible and it's just wasteful.
Right.
But that's a great documentary. So I try to do secondhand. We try to stay away from plastic.
Which that does seem to be a big movement at the moment. I sometimes lose myself if I'm just surrounded by people that are super conscious, or if it is getting widespread, because I feel like at least within what I'm seeing amongst the people around me and kind of like what I'm sharing and like taking in, consuming, is that it does seem to be quite a bit of a movement towards like no single-use plastic.
Totally.
Do you feel that?
I do feel that. I very much feel that way. I think the plastic situation is getting controlled, but I think that for some reason the fashion industry is so unknown. I don't think people know as much about the damaging effects of the fashion industry as they know so much about the plastic industry. So I wonder when
you're wearing clothes every day, you know?
Yeah.
It's really, I'm like a super big supporter of like eco fashion and always try to like support small, support local, sustainable fashion. There's a few companies that I always share on my Instagram, like Woven Threads, who make like yoga and activewear that's made out of recycled plastic bottles, or recycled silk, this is like a Japanese linen one piece that like an amazing woman makes in the Bay Area called Shop Mumu. She's like a one-woman show, hand dyes everything, art and soul design locally. They botanically dye amazing silk dresses and handkerchiefs and all that stuff. So I try to like just blend together that like supporting local, supporting women, and just like knowing like how I want to know where my food comes from. I want to know where my clothes come from as well. So like where possible, and thrifting, pre-loved fashion is like, I'm so happy to hear you say that, because I think it's something that people are rumbling about, but definitely needs like more conversation around.
Definitely. Yeah.
Awesome. So we kind of touched on this before I think we started the interview and just like in general, but as this podcast is called Art of Soul Living, I was just wondering what that means to you.
Well, I've been thinking about that, and the turning of some changes that are going to be happening in my life in the next 3 months or so. But to me, to live for my soul is to do things that make me happy, make me feel like I have a purpose. I'm helping others. I'm letting myself have anxiety or stress when it comes. And it's about, I think, being just generally peaceful thoughts, actions, words with yourself. So that's what it means to me. And so why I've been thinking about it a lot is making a change from a stable, well-paid job that my soul isn't happy in, and going to making a big change to a new job that will make my soul happy. And it's an unknown area because I don't know what that job is yet. But it's a necessary change if I want to be thinking for my soul and not just for money.
Yeah, and I think that a lot of people want to do what you might be speaking of, but there's like this little fear or something that rumbles, that all the uncertainty and the unknown, sometimes people have a hard time kind of taking that step. So do you have any suggestion for someone that is maybe resonating with what you're saying, how they could kind of like just get over that little hump to kind of like just get out there and have their wings kind of grow as they're, out there?
Yeah, so I talk to a lot of people about that because my friends will say, like, Elle, like, you just make a quick change. Like, that's so crazy. Like, how can you do that? Or, they're surprised. But to me, I'm like, it's such a cliche saying, but you only live once. Like, do what makes you happy and do it quick. Like, don't be 60 and wish you did something else, and just do. And I think it comes from growing up. I did what I wanted to do, and mistakes were my fault, but it was, and setbacks were because of something I tried. But it's just me searching for what makes my soul happy. I mean, I'll do tons of things, and I'll really invest a ton of time in them to see, is this making my soul happy? I'll for instance, I went from trying to pursue being a DJ.
Oh, whoa! Hey!
I bought a board. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna buy this board. I'm gonna take all these classes. I'm gonna play at little shows, little gigs, and then all of a sudden I was like, you know what? This doesn't really make me so happy. Scrap it all. Then I tried to be a professional wakeboarder. Did that. Did some training for that. Flew to Key Largo. Like, missed a whole week of college and was like, I'm gonna go to Key Largo and see if this works. And I did it, but I scrapped it. Moved on to the next thing. That thing right now is Vegan Wonder. I'm, sort of.
I think Vegan Wonder is here to stay. I mean, it's just the vibe I get, but it does. Like,
Yeah, and it does.
You've already had so many pop-ups and events, so it seems like you're in a really good creative space.
Yeah. I think each little hobby I was in was missing a certain thing that was necessary to really have a full circle love from me. But I think Vegan Wonder is a space that, it's really, makes me so happy and makes me feel like I have a purpose, and keeps me busy, which is, I love being busy.
So it sounds like you kind of just get into action.
Yeah, just do it.
Yeah, it's simple, but it's like, it's one of those things. It's definitely.
Yeah, and I see that. Like, my sister is the complete opposite. I feel like it's not just do it. It's like think. But, that's also valuable. To really
that works
be
for
thoughtful.
Some.
But I think sometimes it's best just to do it. And see if it works out. And I feel like things will always work out.
Definitely.
Regardless. Maybe not that. Maybe not the next
Maybe
thing,
better.
Maybe better. Like, things work out.
Totally. Yes. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. It's one of those questions where it's like, obviously it's the name of the podcast, so I'm going to ask something around it, even though it's all kind of connected. But I really love hearing people's answer to that question because it's always something super personal. And yeah, thanks for sharing. So we're going to do the next bit, which is in here. There's a bunch of questions, little hearts on them. It's like a little baggie of questions. So we're going to ask one of them. So you're going to pick a number. And then we're going to see what the question is.
13. That's my lucky number.
Okay.
Great.
What do you love about being a woman?
Oh, okay.
I'm like, where to begin, right? I'm not a woman got this question, by the way.
I've never wanted to be a man.
Yeah.
I thought about, like, I would never want to do that. I love being a woman. But
either.
I never, like,
The sisterhood
teach their
is...
own, but I'm like, this is like, we really lucked out. Woo!
We're the lucky
Same
ones,
flavor, yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. So, almost everything I've gotten is because I'm a woman. I feel like, I know some people have negative experiences about being a woman in the workplace, but they've only ever gotten me jobs, helped me raise to the next level. I love being a woman in a male-dominated workplace because I think that, and this was not Google. Google is very much 50-50, but when I was before that, it was nice to be a woman doing a good job and changing perspectives, or just sometimes, when I was selling to males, it was like they needed a woman's kind words and like a listening ear. It's different.
Totally.
So it helped me there. And then also growing up playing soccer and being the only girl playing with a bunch of boys, it's just automatic respect. And it was just, those are some of my most cherished memories, is just me being the girl who plays soccer with a bunch of guys. And it allowed me to meet a ton of friends, and it was just an automatic respect from these guys.
Because you're a badass.
Yeah, but at the beginning they wouldn't pass to me, would not give me the ball, didn't trust me with it until a few plays I'd show them that they need to pass it to me.
Right.
Get
with it, people!
And then they started, and then we won. No, I'm kidding. So
yes,
I love being a woman. Yeah, I love the nurturing aspect of being a woman, being really caring and soft in a relationship. And then I love, feeling like we are able to, like, dress up.
In my recent years, I've just met so many amazing women, and I'm sure they've always been around, but I specifically had kind of been calling in more of like the sisterhood, and I used to have like almost all my friends in Austin were guys, and in Melbourne, actually, most of my friends are women, super amazing women, so I definitely like just get so filled up by that and realize that's such an important element that when I was younger, I didn't not have it, but I didn't put so much emphasis on. But I'm realizing now that I'm older that, like communing with women and being in community is one of the things that sparks me up the most. And so that's why when I think about the podcast or events and different things like that, it just is a really critical element for me at this point in terms of how I want to fill my world. Because there's just so many incredible women that are bringing so many different things, and just in who they are, just as human beings. And I remember when we met at Lenore, and you had like, that group of women that came, and meeting Rachel from Kurkuma and some other really amazing women. It was just like, it doesn't matter what setting I'm in, I always find connecting with women really easy. And I don't know if that's just the place that I'm in or what, but I just love women.
Yeah, and I was the same. I have had more guy friends, and I think it was because I was sporty. I just found better connections with guys. And in Austin, I do have a really solid group of girls that I'm surrounded by that I've never had. Just a group of girls where I'm like, can't wait to get them all together in one space because they're all gonna learn and mesh, and it's something I haven't had before. Is that solid group of girls. So it's been really cool to have that in Austin.
Sweet. Final question I always ask is, what's the last thing that really made you smile or laugh?
I laughed really hard the other day because Ed and I took a picture in Miami, and I zoomed in on his face, and his hair he's got like fringe, and it's a hilarious picture. So I'm just crying laughing. We're standing in line to board the plane, and we're just cracking up. I'm zooming in on his face and just screenshotting it so I can always see it. It's just so funny.
I would love to see that photo.
I was like, this is not what you look like.
The little things. He's got like bangs.
I'm like, what is this picture?
Oh my gosh, classic. Yeah. I love it.
I wonder if I zoomed in, they can see it.
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh, I think you can't see it. Well, anyways, it's hilarious.
Well, if we're able to show this when this comes out, we'll make sure that everybody gets a good view. So
he'll kill me, but that's okay.
So to connect more with this beautiful human, tell people where to find you.
Yeah, so I'm mainly on Instagram. I post like twice a day things I'm eating. And you wouldn't believe, but I've got probably 25 pictures in backlog. So I'm eating.
We're ready. By the time this comes out, it'll be out. It'll probably be another backlog.
It will be another backlog. But my Instagram is Elle defreitas. That's my first and last name, but that's spelled ELLE and then DEFREITAS. And then Vegan Wonder is on Facebook and Instagram, and we've got our website, but it's Vegan Wonder, and then the website is veganwondertx.com. But yeah, we're all over social media.
They
doing
have
the
such
thing.
A beautiful, like social media is so beautiful, and that even in itself is like, maybe another outlet of your art, which I don't know if you consider that platform to kind of like be an expression of art, but I find that the accounts that I follow, a lot of them are kind of like the person's art in a way of like how they're expressing themselves. So I really
see some
love
Instagrams where I'm like, that is so uniform and beautiful.
Yeah.
Like how creative.
And I bet you get lots of food ones you follow.
Yeah. And
do you have any
lifestyles.
suggestions?
Oh gosh. If you want to cook something vegan, Minimalist Baker.
Oh, she's amazing.
Oh my gosh. Everything I ever make of hers is like exactly how I think it should be. Her directions are wonderful, and she's really creative, and she tries to do like no gluten, no refined sugar. She's awesome. Yeah, she's very good. I would definitely suggest that.
Definitely one of the awesome ones. Who's the one I recommend? I showed you and you're both.
Yes, her name's Elle, but I can't remember. Right?
Yeah,
they're Elle, but I can't remember what.
Elle Boleyn, but like, what's her? Oh, Elsa's Wholesome Life.
Yes,
she's an Aussie.
Like you're saying, that is a beautiful one.
Yeah,
that one is. I'm like,
because I love the weaving of the travel with, like the vegan lifestyle as well.
Totally,
and it's just they're constantly going to incredible places.
She's in Tulum right now. I'm really wanting to go to Tulum.
Me too.
It's supposed to be like a yoga, meditation, and like a plant-based Mecca.
Yeah. Mexico
is
is super amazing.
Yeah.
Like I would love to go to Oaxaca. There's so many amazing, like I've been to Mexico, but like the more touristy spots, like family vacations and stuff. But there's so many places to explore. So, and then as for myself, you can find me at davycreative.com or on my Instagram, davycreative_. I'm going to post all the links underneath the video and underneath the podcast. And again, this is Art of Soul Living by Davy Creative. Paz y amor. Thank you, Elle.
To join the community or submit on-air podcast questions, you can find my Instagram at davycreative_. And please leave a review wherever you listen to this soul podcast. You are so appreciated. You can access full-length soul interview videos on my YouTube channel, Davy Creative. The links will all be in the show notes. Thank you for vibing with me. Again, this is Art of Soul Living by Davy Creative. Paz y amor.